of how many women that have lived with their husband for years, right? And they wake up one morning to find out. I want to underline find out, which means the husband didn't come to tell them, but they just wake up one morning to find out from somewhere, somehow, that their husband has a child outside or has children outside, okay? And when these women bring this new discovery into their home and it finally gets to the family, especially the in-laws, right? That's the man's side. What does she get? The man, the in-laws, and the society, the African society, what do they say? They expect this woman to take it. They will say he's a man. And they will tell the woman, what can you do? You have no choice. Just accept this child like your own. Treat this child like your own. Happy April. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. I'm just tired. But I promised myself that I was going to put more effort to be here consistently from April. So I'm here. I hope you are doing great. I hope your Easter was amazing. My Easter was good. Let me show you guys where I am with my belly, so you understand that this your sister right here is trying. Can you see how big? Can you see? So we have a few weeks to go. Oh, sorry for the noise from the chair. We have a few weeks to go, and by the special grace of God, we are going to make it successfully. But I'm going through so much pain and stuff. By the way, if you're not yet subscribed to the Motherhood channel, my channel is really pretty up and running, and I have a lot of the motherhood vlogs and motherhood content on that channel, like I said in my previous video. Anyways, welcome to today's video. Happy new month of April, and may this month be a month of supernatural blessings for us. May all our prayers that are good submitted before God be answered in the mighty name of Jesus. So today I want to talk about this topic of DNA, because recently it's been a trend on the social media space where you wake up today, you see that a man went and did DNA test for his children. It happened that 2 of them are his, 1 is not his, or all 3 are not his, or all 7, all 10 are not his. So today morning I saw another post on Instagram online. Another man again found out that his children are not his, so which means the women have been hiding this for them for 9 years and more. I assume that this is happening in many homes. Before I go to my point that I want to make today, let me just give this disclaimer. I'm not saying that it's right for any woman whatsoever, for whatever reason, to hide the paternity of a child from the child's father, or to give biological paternity of a child to their husband, which is not his. It's wrong from every level, from every angle. It's super wrong. I don't understand how these women come about to live with this. I don't understand their raison d'etre, why they choose to do this. I don't understand why any woman will want to do, because for me, I feel like it's dishonesty to the highest level, right? However, this is where I'm coming from. So let's just take this thing clear that I'm not in support of it. Whatever the reasons may be, there is no justification for it. All right. So let's put this out. However, this is where my problem is, because when you look at this post on social media, all you hear is the gender is a Jezebel, fear woman, fear this, fear that. It's now become like the women are now the ones that are responsible for all of these broken homes here and there, or like the man now is suddenly being glorified, like they are so perfect. You know, when you read this thread, you see a lot of bizarre comments, especially from men, how they are bashing women and all of this. And I can't help but think that, are we not playing double standard right here? And especially from the African community, are we aware of how many women that have lived with their husband for years, right? And they wake up one morning to find out I want to underline find out, which means the husband didn't come to tell them, but they just wake up one morning to find out from somewhere, somehow, that their husband has a child outside or has children outside. Okay. And when these women bring this new discovery into their home and it finally gets to the family, especially the in-laws, right? That's the man's side. What does she get? The man, the in-laws, and the society, the African society, what do they say? They expect this woman to take it. They will say he's a man. And they will tell the woman, what can you do? You have no choice. Just accept this child like your own. Treat this child like your own. Love this child like your own. Wait, hello? How? All right. Another scenario. You've stressed with your husband. You've built so many things together. Unfortunately, your husband passes. And boom, you see children start popping from nowhere. He's my dad. They start bringing up birth certificate. He was my father. He was my father. He was my father. And now they start dragging things with your children. And then emotionally you're broken. Some in-laws will even go to the extent of throwing you out. If for some reason you had just female children, for this family that still think that a female child is not a child, you had just female children, this family will gang up and send you out, and will even want to now take a child from outside, a child that your husband got out of wedlock through infidelity, through adultery, to be the one to come in, like a whole emotional, psychological, mental, financial stress that is being placed on top of the woman in both circumstances. But yet, what does my community expect from this woman? What does your husband expect from you? What does your in-laws expect from you? Even your own family, the woman's family, all what they will tell you is he's a man. It's okay, just forgive and move on. Learn to love this child as yours. Learn to treat this child as yours. Just accept the child as yours. So let's fast forward back to what is happening today on the internet space, which I'm completely against it. So why is the story now different? That when a woman or when a man wakes up to find out that the children he's been told or lied to that are his biological, I want to underline here, biological children are not his. Why is there all these feuds? Why can't this same community not tell the man, you know what, she's your wife? You know, what has happened has happened. You have been there for these children for the past 9 years, for the past 3 years, for the past 13, 14, whatever years, how long it has been. Just look beyond the biological side of you. You are their father. Just forgive your wife for the infidelity. Forgive your wife for the adultery. Forgive your wife for the dishonesty through all this year. And just learn to accept these children as yours. Love them. What happened to this preaching? Why now suddenly everyone is saying send her out? Why now suddenly everyone is saying that send the children away? Why now everyone is building another narrative? The same people that had that narrative when it had to do with the man, these same people are having another narrative when it has to do with the woman. Where am I going to? Where I'm driving to is the double standard of the African community, the double standard of the marriage setting in the African community, the African culture, the double standard of family building and family responsibility, who is responsible to keep the home intact. All of this burden is always placed on the woman and never on the man. And that is why, if you ask me today, I feel like marriage is fast losing its value, because a lot of men don't understand what it takes to be married. A lot of women also don't understand what it takes to be married, because most women come from this background that they feel like everything rests on their shoulder. They have to be superwoman to make their marriages work, but they forget that it takes two to tango. Because in both circumstances, be it the man or be it the woman, something happened that we seem to forget when it has to do with the man. There was an act of infidelity. There was a covenant broken, okay? There was dishonesty. Okay, there was emotional, psychological, in fact, there was all form of marriage intimacy that was broken. And both of them produced a fruit called a child. or both of them produce a fruit called a child with different partners, from the woman with another man, from the man with another woman. So these both people are guilty of adultery. Both of them are guilty of infidelity. Both of them are guilty of breaking their marriage covenant. Why then is the case of a woman so different even in 2024? When are we going to learn to drop this double standard and start teaching our male children, and start talking to our sons that are adolescents, and start talking to our sons who are already married that, hey son, you also have the responsibility. In fact, you have more responsibility of fighting and building your home to make sure that your home is standing on a solid rock. It's your responsibility to protect your home. It's your responsibility to provide for your home. And when you as a man, you step out there because somehow your community still glamours you that you are a man, it's very funny and sad how we build men that they will only feel worthless, or they will feel worthy, based on the amount of skirts they can get into, based on the amount of side chicks they can keep, based on the amount of children they can have outside their matrimony. The society still finds that today okay. But when a woman messes up one time, it's like heaven is breaking loose. So it's either we both sit up to work towards a society that is going to have a beautiful marriage like God intended, or we apply the same foolishness. And please bear with me, I'm not saying here to any woman that when your husband cheats or when your husband misbehaves, you should do the same. Of course, if we want to be honest, there will always be this drive. Men don't understand what happens to a woman who loves you, trusts you, puts you before themselves. You don't understand what your infidelity, especially repeated infidelity, does to them. It breaks a woman to the last pieces. It makes a woman see herself so worthless. It makes a woman begins to question herself and blame herself for your irresponsibility, because that's what the society has coined her to be. They made her to understand it's your responsibility to carry your home. Whether your husband has 10 women out there, whether your woman has 15 children out there or one child out there, it's your responsibility. You still need to hold that home intact. So in all of this madness, trauma that these women go through, if we have to be honest, they also sometimes will be pushed to do stuff. And so it will take a special grace of God. It will take serious self-discipline for a woman that is going through this to understand that if I go out there to mess up, it's my body and it's not the man's body, So when I read this comment, this message is for you men. Most of you expect to have virtuous women. Most of you expect to have Proverbs 31 women. Some of you are actually being blessed with Proverbs 31 women. Even though you were not built to be a Proverbs 31 man. You have not worked hard to build yourself to be a Proverbs 31 man. Because you're a man, you can get any woman you want. And now God blesses you with a woman that understands what wifing is, what homemaking is, what submission is, what loving her husband is, and you take that woman and you mess her up with your repeated infidelity. So in this case, if this woman flips, are you really going to blame her? So in all of this, the African woman is still expected to wear that bulletproof to take it. So I really want us to think about this. This is not a time to say, this gender is Jezebel. This gender is Adam. This gender is this. It's time for us to sit and ask ourselves, what is happening to the union called marriage? Why is it that many homes, many marriages today are losing their values? If you see homes that are still standing today, you will be shocked to understand that it's because some of these women have decided to just lay their life on the line, which means they have sacrificed their peace. They have sacrificed their everything just to keep that home intact. But to everything, there's a breaking point. That's why you see people walk out of a marriage after 30 years. People walk out after 15 years. And you're asking yourself, how can you walk out after 15 years? This is because these people, be it the man or the woman, they have come to a point where they can no longer take it. They have given everything and they have nothing else to give anymore. So rather than us focusing on who is worse because a DNA test said that the man is not the daughter, let's focus on what is broken in the marriage unit. And if you look at it, it's infidelity. Both of you are guilty of infidelity. Why is there infidelity? Lust of the flesh, lack of self-control. I don't care. Even your wife is nagging you from heaven tonight. You can have that self-control to think that it's not by going into another woman's pant that you find peace. Your mind should tell you that going into another woman's pant will cause you more problems. You have 5 minutes of pleasure, but then you have problems for the rest of your life. So many things can go wrong. You can get bad diseases, or you can get a child out of wedlock. Now you've caused a blended family situation where your children in the house and the children outside, they now have to struggle to accept the fact that they are siblings. The woman in the house now have to struggle to see how she can accept the child from outside because it's an innocent child. The woman outside will be struggling to see how she can implement also to make sure that her kids are equal to the kids in the house. But if you're a Christian, all of these things are in the Bible. You can't say you're a Christian and you're living a life of a pagan. You're justifying your sins of adultery, and then you don't want to justify the sins of your partner's adultery. Adultery is adultery in the Bible. There is nowhere that says adultery or sexual immorality from a man is called this. Sexual immorality from a woman is called this. They are both adultery. Both of them have broken. You both have broken the covenant. So that is just what I wanted to share with you guys today. So you men that are always saying, hey, just most of you that have seen all these posts on social media and you're commenting, trust me, some of these men that you see them commenting under this post here, they are married and they have children outside. They haven't mustered that courage to tell their wife that I have children outside. They come and see them in the comment section criticizing this woman whose husband has found out that the children are not his. Oga, do the honorable thing. Let this DNA post that capitalizes everything about it just has to talk about adultery and infidelity. Let this motivate you to walk to your wife and to tell your wife that, hey baby, see, I have children outside. And for you also, a female who is living in the house with the husband and the children in that house are not biologically your husband, and you're seeing this post on Facebook and you're also commenting on that and you're blaming the other gender, this should be an awakening to you that maybe it's time I should come out of the closet. Maybe it's time I should sit my husband down, tell him the truth. And then both of us are going to decide when we'll tell the kid, if and when we are going to tell the kid, or what is the way forward. And I want to really expect a man to support a woman's infidelity as well. The same way you all expect us to support your numerous infidelity and the fruits from your infidelity. Let's stop this double standard. If you have been there in the kid's life for 9 years, for 2 years, find a way to bypass this infidelity and keep loving the child, because I underline biological, because see, being a father to a child is more than being the owner of that sperm that fertilized that egg. It's way beyond that. And if for the past years you've been that father to this child, I understand how heartbreaking this is. I understand how devastating this is. But it's something that both of you need to sit down and talk about it. And if at the end of the day you feel like you cannot bypass this, walk away. But ask yourself this question: if this were to be me, would I expect my wife to walk away, or would I expect my wife to forgive me? You see this double standard thing? We need to stop it. Okay? Alright. That was all I wanted to share with you guys today about this DNA stuff. And I really pray that our children are going to do better, because it's our generation and the one before us, we are all a mess, So I really pray that for those of us who are mothers, we are going to try to raise children who will break this circle and not continue the circle. Raise your female child to have enough understanding of what marriage is. Raise your male child to have the same understanding, a good understanding of what marriage is. It's rather unfortunate that you and your husband cannot be an example to them. But do your best to be honest with your children, to tell them, when you mess up that son, I cheated on your mother and it's wrong. Don't do it. Don't justify it to your child. especially those of you that have big boys that are 17, 20s, don't find a reason to justify and say, we are men. Some of you go as far as say, when my children grow, they'll understand what? That fidelity is a good thing. Infidelity, is a good thing. That it's okay to be a man with no self-control. Let's change this mentality and try to see if our children can have better homes. Because for us today, it's far-fetched. For everyone that has a blissful marriage, God bless your home. God continue to bless you. So I'll see you on my next one, favorite. Let me know what you think in the comment section about all this DNA thing and the double standard of it all. And I'll see you in my next video. Stay blessed and remember, God loves you so much. Bye.